This is Simplified 1918, and this is actually the second take. Normally I don't do second takes on videos, but I realized as I was uploading the video, it kind of wanted to shift it sideways, so you wouldn't be able to watch the video very good, or it would have been annoying as can be. And that's my pooch upstairs. So here's the deal. I noticed that some folks out there, they say, well, I have no money for emergency situations. Well, first of all, I want you to have $1,000 prepared for emergency slush fund, and I mean that with the deepest of my heart, because here's the deal: if something goes wrong or something goes bad, or you got to move, you got to do, transmission goes out, whatever the case is, emergency, you need it, you got it. Now the second thing is while you're doing that, if you happen to notice that they have it on sale, like today I happen to notice they had cut green beans for, you know, they were 4 for $2. So what did I do? I spent a couple of bucks, got myself 8 of these guys, so I can rotate out some of my older ones. This one here, I ended up finding them at the grocery store for $1. Some places they sometimes have them as cheap as $1.25, but instead of driving somewhere else for $1, you might as well just grab them at $1.25, because by the time you spend that in fuel, it's worth it. So between $1 and $1.25, that's fine, whatever. Snag a couple of those. These, sometimes they go from like $1 or something to all the way down to $1. They're on sale, so guess what? And the best thing about it, these are actually non-GMO cert verified, which is good. People always talk about having rice and beans and corn and all that stuff. Well, I got rice, got myself some rice, and I got myself some beans. Not always the cheapest, but when you go to grab it in smaller forms like this, sometimes it's the only way you can do it. Build it little by little. Other times, if you got a little bit of extra cash and you happen to be able to pay for the big huge bag, then go for the big huge bag. But you don't have to do that. Same thing with these guys. Sometimes they come really cheap. You can get them in the cans too. Sometimes really, really cheap, and they're on sale, and you get like, you know, 4 of them for $3 or whatever the case is. And then these guys. You know, I don't really eat ramen noodles all that much anymore, just because I don't need to. But I bought these just to show you guys an example. They were 4 for $1, so I was like, all right, that's 25 cents a piece. You know, some people say, well, I don't have anything to spare. Well, here's the deal. How many times do you drink coffee a day? How much coffee do you drink? Because I guarantee you that $3, $4, or $5 you spent in coffee, you probably could have gotten, let's just say you spent $3 in coffee. Well, guess what? 3 times 4 is what? 12 of these suckers. And even if you eat 2 of these with each meal, that's 6 meals right there. Another thing too is I happen to notice that they had these normally, and it's kind of cool because I ended up finding this at the grocery store today. They happen to have Back to the Roots Organic Mushroom Farm, and what this does is this is basically you set it up and you have 2 sets of crops. So on the one side you do what you do on the one side, and then when you get done with that side, then you do this other side. I know it's kind of got some other stuff in here too, which it talks about, you know, pasta and directions for some stuff to make. But then you got the directions here on this side, which is cool. So if you got kids, I ended up finding this one on sale for $9.99 instead of the normal 18 or 20 bucks. They got ones for tomatoes and all this other stuff too, and then they got one that's a tank that's like 80 bucks. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna pay for that. Because then you got the little fishy inside, and then it's got stuff on top. But that's beside the point. But the reason why I wanted to bring this stuff out on my YouTube channel is because here's the deal. Well, let's just say you happen to go and you lose your job, or your wife loses her job, or whatever the source is, you lose a little bit of income, and now you're struggling for the day, the week, the month. Well, if you only buy enough for the day, and you keep paying astronomical money about, you know, because you're going out and eating, you know, how much does it cost to go out and eat? Yeah, granted, this last couple of weeks I went out and ate a lot. I normally don't go eating, you know, at your, you know, Wendy's or your McDonald's or wherever it is you go. Normally, I don't do that, typically, but there again, that's just one of the things that I ended up doing because I've been moving and I've been doing a lot of stuff. But here's another thing too for you. Had I not had the $1,000, I would not have been able to, as in one of my other videos showed you that I ended up doing a cutoff valve for my, actually, what did I just show you? I ended up having to put in a shutoff valve for my hot water because it cracked underneath the sink which was right down underneath this guy right here. Down in here. Down right there where all that blue stuff is. So you got that there. And I had to rewire it so it came down here so I could go to the shower, and then I got that going down across over, which, by the way, the pipe comes down here, and as you can see, I got the shut-off valve right there. Now I haven't finished it yet, so that way I haven't got to the sink yet, but that's okay because I'm going to work on that later. But as you can see, the piping comes all the way across over here and comes all the way back down for the hot water. So I got the hot water. As you can see, hot water. And hot water in here too. So the shower works. And it's just something simple and easy that the average Joe can do. And yeah, I got some more piping here, which is the PAX tubing, and I know I got those things there to help keep it from freezing, I guess. Which I'll probably figure that out and put some of that stuff up on. But yeah, like I said, you know, and granted I got this freezer down here. I ain't using it yet. I got a friend of mine who I'm trading it out because I only want one about half the size. But like I said there again, you know, these are just some simple things that you can do. And you know, like I said, with the PAX tubing and SharkBite, I mean, yeah, it cost me a little bit, but had I not had the $1,000 saved, I would have not been able to take care of that business. The second thing is like I was saying, with the food and all that stuff, it's not just for, you know, crap hits the fan. It's for, you know, everyday situations. Hey, you know, I lost my job, or this time instead of working the normal 60, 70, 80 hours I work, you know, now I've only got 20 hours this week, and now my paycheck is a third of what it was, you know. It's just some simple things to think about, you know. And that's what I'm working on doing. Every time I see more cans, I end up buying some more cans. Yeah, great. You know, you're like, well, when's enough is enough? Well, guess what? Enough is enough is when I can afford enough to have enough for at least a year's worth of supplies. Then I'm going to start rotating it out, and there you go. Am I there yet? I ain't going to say, because guess what? It's for me to know and for you to find out. But this is Simplify 1918, signing out. And by the way, smash and like the button, and obviously hit the subscribe button. Simplify 1918 out.